16, Nancy.
Good morning, Hickey Sunrise.
Please join with me in honor of our country.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Michael.
First of all, I want to thank you for the opportunity to be with a group of people that know service above self is. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of the giving that was done this past week and the spirit that it was given in. Bless the food Jenny's eating.
Thank you.
Yeah, nourishment for her body. And bless us and continue to help us to do what you have us to do. In my name of Jesus we pray.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michael.
Please have a seat. Mr. Honeycutt.
Yes. Good morning. Bless my food.
You didn't get anything.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning, Rotarians.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning,
Wayne.
Richard.
Morning, Wayne.
Good morning. Good morning,
Wayne.
Jenny. Yes, good morning,
Good
Wayne.
morning.
You were covered. All right, good deal. Several little things this morning. First thing I'd like to do, and I mentioned to Rick, and this is procedure. In the event we have snow that would affect Rotary, there is a procedure, and we've had a great winter without rain, a lot of rain, but no snow. If we have snow, what is the procedure? Just to review.
We will follow what the county and city schools do. And generally, all three systems do the same thing. So if the schools are delayed or closed, we will not meet.
Okay, all right, that is clear. Rick, thank you for that info. All right, we do have some issues. Gavin, where's Gavin? He's right here. Okay,
This is our
Gavin,
first issue, yes.
did you check the perimeter this morning?
I did, but as you can see, a lot of people still go through.
Okay. All right. We have our rotators. Good group this morning. Now, Richard, I'm going to give you a little bit more time this morning. If you would give a report on the winter warrant for everybody to understand how it went. And I understand that Jake's food is short. Now remember, understand this, Jake is out of food. So if you have not given Richard money this morning, you can also make an extra contribution to Jake. He needs some food. All right, Richard.
We have indeed spent all of Jake's food and some more, and maybe a little bit more. That's right. For what we did for Saturday for the winter war, it was a great outing for each and every one of us. We gave away 50 bags of groceries, and that was given away per family. So there was 52 bags of groceries. Now that's not individuals, that's just family. A lot of socks, a lot of the gloves that some of them that work those tables would see. The food turned out well, making the sandwiches. So it was a great time. It was a great time for all of us as Rotarians to service above self, to feed those that need, and to give to those that need as well. So I'm very proud of each and every one of you for bringing the soups, for making the sandwiches, for laughter, for helping clean up, all the kind of things that we do to help other people. And we're proud of our club for what they did and helped.
Were the numbers lower this year than last year?
A little bit lower,
I
yeah.
thought they were.
A little bit lower than last year. But there was some that didn't make it. Let me see who didn't make it.
10 didn't make it.
Kenny Klotz.
If you need $1, put $1 out on the table.
I got you, dog.
Ron Dance
I got you.
Come on.
didn't make it. Donald Hicks. Now Donald Hicks paid. He told me he couldn't make it, and he gave me the money to buy the soup. Ron Leach didn't make it.
didn't make it.
Walter Smith didn't make it. Jim Starkey didn't make it, but he was sick.
He was sick.
He was sick.
We can excuse that. We can excuse that.
And Joe Westfall didn't make it.
Right, and he was in Winston-Salem looking for a house.
Yes.
He's moving.
Yeah.
What? Oh.
So
Joe is
we have-
retiring at the end of, I guess it's a Methodist minister's change in June. So he'll be, at the end of May, he'll be retiring and moving to Winston.
But what a great outing. Again, too, this is what this buys, is all that, as most of you know now, that's what this dollar that you give, that's what it buys. And so, again, too, very proud of all of you. Thank you very much for all your help.
And Wayne, a sunshine dollar for the wonderful job.
That's great. Good deal.
I would like to.
All right. Now he did have an issue in the kitchen.
Richard took on the colonel's role there, I think, at the
Dr.
Yeah, it is.
Wait, before I do that, Rick, would you introduce your guest, please?
In a minute, go ahead.
Go get it. Okay. All right, we did have an issue in the kitchen. We had 2 ladies in there making sandwiches. I attempted to help. And I got,
They said we don't need you.
and I got criticized the way I put peanut butter on the sandwich. All right, we tried it over peanut butter and without peanut butter, but it didn't satisfy the person that was working there. So,
It was not. I said nothing.
now,
And I feel that buzz.
yeah, all right.
Grateful for the help.
And also,
Somebody else.
Nancy cut the sandwiches, and there was the issue, she wouldn't let anyone else cut the sandwiches. She had to do it, so she took control there, so I don't know if you deserve a fine, not, let me tell you, you did a great job. All right, 2 other items quickly. I had a note, I don't know where this is. I had a telephone number, 303-0057-0057. Whose cell phone is that?
That's Dr.
Number?
That's Dr. number, yeah.
What? Is that your number? Yes. That's your number? Yes. Okay, I need $1 because I have written it down and I have had to carry this number for weeks. $1.
Such a burden. He can't remember. He can't remember. Put it in the blue bucket.
All right. Steve Hunt, you have a brick with you this morning?
I do.
I need $1.
What's up with that?
Because I had to store that brick.
Oh,
Your friend, no, Richard Tucker.
No,
Yeah.
you don't change the rules on me when I get.
Yeah, but you have to take that brick home.
When did he take it home?
He paid on the side. Tucker paid on the side.
Sit out.
On the side? What does that mean?
He said $2
Under the table. You know what
Extortion.
tell him under the table. You know
That's
Wait.
Yes,
I got Steve's dollar.
all right, good deal. Now, but,
You don't have to have the brick anymore, do you?
Right.
now
I have a guess.
Ooh.
Jeff Horvath.
if I store that brick,
Yes.
Go ahead, say what you're gonna say.
I store that brick anytime a Rotarian leaves it, doesn't have a guest, all right, that's $1. All right, this is for storage, nothing else.
Well, how do you change the rule on me when Tucker gets rid of the brick? He left it for a year. He owed you $365.
Last issue.
But you wait, he has a guess.
So now I have a guess, and I must move the brick.
Okay, yes, sir.
Thank you.
And your guest is?
And my guest is Jeff Horvath.
Right. This is Jeff Horvath. Welcome, Jeff, to the club.
I already have a suggestion. I think all these dollars floating around, we should be wearing G-strings.
He's gonna fit right in there.
Excuse me, sir.
Don't you get any ideas?
Excuse me, sir. We have had one person dance on our
He doesn't know. I'll pay your $1. He doesn't know.
We've already had a ball dancer.
Yeah, that's right. Got a picture too.
How do you know
we're not wearing G-strings?
Hold on, I need to
I have an
get the brick.
item.
Go ahead.
I have an item. Here's my
Okay.
dollar.
All right.
The women were 100% in attendance on Saturday. Just wanted to put that out there. Just wanted to say that. Thank you. Go women.
Brick is going too.
Ooh.
That cost me $1.
No, not
Unless you leave it.
Who got the brick?
It's cheaper to leave it.
Lynn got it.
$5.
Lynn.
If you
All right,
don't
last
leave it-
item, we've got to move along. All right, we have a Rotarian had his picture in the paper.
Serves above self.
Michael Wimberly.
Yeah.
All right, and this is, Michael, would you explain why your picture was in the paper? That was a good picture.
He was set up.
What is?
The New Dimensions, which is a nonprofit that now owns what used to be public housing property, we got a grant for $887,000 to do a youth build program, which is a program where you take youth, you focus on youth that don't have a high school diploma, and I don't know what an at-risk child is, so I don't call it at-risk, but people who may need a little more help to learn how to build. And so we will renovate train and renovate, train youth to renovate to build a house. And that's what the project is.
All right.
It's a 40-month project.
Kenny, would you consider that service above self?
Yes, sir.
All right, everybody has put $1 in the bucket.
You got that ATM before you come in.
Lucky that's the one I called on 355.
Okay.
No, I know, I just got changed.
I just said that. Change, hand me a bucket that has some change.
Just got.
You got it?
I just take out 4, Jim. Don't take out 6.
Nice.
And I do apologize for not being there last Saturday. I did get up early in the morning and make soup. And things just did not work out. But maybe that's going to be corrected next week. I had an appointment with a surgeon yesterday, and he said, whoa, whoa, whoa. When can you be ready for surgery? I said, well, when do you want? He said, how about next Wednesday? I said, wow. Okay. So my abdominal area. He said it's not good when the intestines pop out through the hole in your stomach.
No.
Not good at all.
And he said where it's at, it's the same space of intestine every time. So it's more stress and strain on it each time it does it. So it needs to be done now.
Okay, Jim, have you got anybody that,
I was gonna say,
that
what
you
do you
need
need?
anything done?
No, my daughter's gonna go with me
Winston, where are you gonna have it done?
to Catawba, day surgery.
Oh, okay.
Hopefully, he can do it laparoscopically. He said, but he won't know until he gets in and see what damage has been done.
So that means you're gonna miss the meeting next week.
Yes. Well, aren't you also?
As a matter of fact, yeah, we're not gonna have a meeting next week.
You was not.
I was gonna fine you for missing the meeting. I don't care, surgery doesn't count.
See how big those old-timers dollars were?
That is wrong.
Hey,
All right.
Mr. President, I was trying to recruit a member, but I heard a comment like, I would have to go to the ATM machine.
Hard time.
And in all seriousness, Wayne, the money that you get from the fines, what's that used for?
We just put it, originally it was for wheelchair. And then we gradually just kept putting it into the general fund, and it has not been earmarked. So we try to budget $300 in fines that we put back in. And in relationship to that, next week, I'm bringing an item that will be, tickets have to be purchased, and $30 is what the goal is to raise on that. It goes back into fines sometime maybe. And Glenn has kept up a record. I have no idea over the years. I know last year we collected $450 in fines.
We're at 245 without today's.
245.
245.
Okay, goal is 300. We've got ways to go. Yes.
All right, we have a program today that's going to be of interest to a lot of us, actually all of us, but especially Jenny. She's kind of excited about this. With us today is Melinda McCormick, and Melinda is going to tell us about the honor flight that we had supported years and years ago, but sort of got away from it, but now it's being sort of revved up again. So will you please welcome Melinda McCormick.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to be here today to talk to you about something I'm passionate about, is honoring our veterans. I want to go back to how this whole program started. I used to live up in the Hendersonville, Flat Rock area. One of my dearest friends, Jeff Miller, who runs a dry cleaners, had heard about a guy up in Ohio that had a small plane. And he was taking maybe 2 or 3 World War II veterans at a time to D.C. He said, that's a good idea. I want to do that here. Because there were a lot in retirees in Western North Carolina. So he put a small ad in the Hendersonville paper. Now this is around 2005. And said, are there any World War II veterans that would like to go to D.C. to see their memorial? Now he was expecting 20, maybe 25 responses, and he'd do a little fundraising amongst his friends and fellow businessmen in Hendersonville. buy some plane tickets, take a trip up. Within 48 hours, he had over 200 responses. Now, if any of you saw Jaws, you kind of know we're going to need a bigger boat. We're going to need a bigger plane. So he put a committee together. He got someone that was in the travel business, an accountant, somebody that did a lot of marketing and publicity, and other volunteers. And at one point, he called, I believe it was US Air, and said, how much does it cost to charter a 737? Well, after they kind of laughed, and they gave him a price that was way up here, and then he explained to them, I want to take a group of World War II veterans from the Asheville, Hendersonville area up to DC to see Memorial. Well, this kind of went up the ladder. That price tag kind of came down about half. And plans were made in putting it together, getting the buses. I mean, there was a lot of planning and coordination. That first weekend, they actually had 2 trips. They had one on Saturday going up, they had one on Sunday. Now, if the veteran was in a wheelchair, he or she had their own guardian. If the veterans were able to get around pretty well on their own, it was from one guardian to 3 or 4 veterans, and that was that very first weekend. They had doctors, they had nurses, they had EMTs also on that flight. One of the funny stories is on that first trip, Jeff, he's the founder of this thing now, lost one of his veterans. The guy was hard of hearing. He had gotten tired somewhere during the course of the day, got back on a bus, not necessarily his bus, fell asleep. So they were going around the area calling for him. And one thing Jeff learned on that trip is you're going to have your name tag on both sides of the name badge. So that was one of those first experiences. This has grown amazing from those first 2 trips that first weekend. Now, pretty much they had started from the Asheville, Hendersonville area. The Asheville, Hendersonville Rotary Clubs did get involved. Very big in raising funds. It's now grown to where it's 49 states have participated in sending veterans. We don't have a group from Hawaii yet, but even from Alaska. We're very, very fortunate in this area is that we are with the group that started this. It has become so streamlined. I'm going on as a guardian, and so is, I think, Jenny. We've got to get all that confirmed on the May flight. We have 2 flights a year, definitely, going out of town. This is supporting from basically Catawba County West. And actually, I think we'll still have 4 World War II veterans going on this May flight.
Mine's a World War II veteran, and he's a Hickory native. He grew up here.
But going back, I was real involved in a lot of fundraising because I used to live in the Hendersonville area. One of the events that I hosted, the community I lived in had 14 World War II veterans in it. We had an admiral, we had a general, we had some. But anyway, I had asked a lot of the veterans if they had any memorabilia from their time in the war. And we set up our big banquet room, the Pacific Front and the European Front. It was amazing what these guys were able to bring home from. We had Japanese flags and Nazi flags and helmets and things. And I remember one of my little faux pas is I went up to Wally and said, Wally, would you have anything we could include with the memorabilia? Melinda, I was a prisoner of war for 3 years. I didn't bring back much. But one of the things I did then is I had 10 of those World War II veterans. I got a picture of them when they were in their youth. So 20 years old in their uniform. And one of the challenges to all the guests at this fundraiser was they had to match that 80-plus-year-old veteran with that 20-year-old picture. So it really got a lot of great communication, and people, all right, you got really blue eyes. And this has got, yeah. So that was a lot of fun. But we raised over $2,000. So that was a proud moment for me. Again, as I said, this has gone national. Now to date, over 250,000 veterans have gone to D.C. at no cost to themselves. That is amazing. It initially started with just the World War II veterans. We're losing those, there are very few of those even left. It then went to the Korean. And then they got it to Vietnam. One of the stipulations with the Vietnam is, and this is not from this organization, the Blue Ridge Honor Flight, this is from the Veterans Administration. The Vietnam veteran has to have served in country or in service to country to be able to go, as, you know, for free. If you go as a guardian, you have to pay. They can still go in that capacity. But right now, those that served in country will have priority. As Jenny found out, if you know of any World War II veterans that want to go, they have priority. That Vietnam or Korean vet gets pushed to the next trip. Now, we have tried to definitely have 2 trips every year, usually in May and September. Now, I talked to Jeff Miller last night. There's real close to maybe getting the 3rd trip this year. He said the demand, they could charter a 747 and not feel the demand. But I asked him if there were stories or something that really has hit home with him on the many, many trips that he's taken. And he says it's not the individual stories that really stands out with him. Is that when it was primarily the World War II veterans, there was such a reunion. That was kind of the sensation or the feeling that when they got together with other World War II veterans on these trips. And a lot of times when they get to D.C. and they're at these memorials, there may be other flights that have come in from other states. So one of the things they want you to do is they will give everybody a Blue Ridge Honor Flight mocap, but they want the veteran to wear their service cap. Because the odds of them finding or meeting someone that served in Vietnam or in Korea and they have been in the same division they were in, it's happened over and over and over again. So with the World War II veterans, he felt like there was such a sense of reunion. Once they started doing the Korean veterans, it was more of a sensation of appreciation, of them feeling the thanks for the service that they did have. They kept half of that country from becoming communist. And today, they're ranked 11th in the world as far as where they are economically. So it gives them a sense of now, I'm going to cry on this, but he said with the Vietnam, it has been life-changing for many, many of those veterans. He gets so many letters back from the veteran or their family as to how this trip has changed their life. One guy had nightmares almost every night. He went on this trip, and he hasn't had a nightmare since. That's the impact that this type of a trip can do for these guys, with a sense of closure. Again, and Asheville, like I said, this group does it right. Let me just go through the full trip. We start out early. We usually fly out about 8 o'clock from the Asheville airport. And as they tell us, we get meals from the 3 food groups. We get McDonald's for breakfast, you get Chick-fil-A for lunch, and you get Arby's for supper. They did move to the BWI airport for a couple reasons. One, we didn't have to deal with escalators and elevators. So when slowed things down if you had to worry about getting them through a different way to get out to the buses. It's a straight shot from the gate. They're usually welcomed. They've got the fire trucks with the water spray. It's announced to the concourse, so they're greeted very warmly when they get off the plane. They get on the bus. There is police escorts with the buses. They go straight to the park. Stop the lights, traffic, out of the way. These buses have priority. Now, one of the unique things too about that airplane coming out of Asheville, as this thing progressed and they saw what was happening, the FAA gave the plane just from Hendersonville, or Asheville, Hendersonville, not the one from Charlotte or Texas or wherever, the call sign Honor Air 1. Only one flight, one plane has precedent in landing. But these guys, it's streamlined. I mean, they have worked with the parks, they've worked with the police, the highway, to get those guys there. And they start at the Lincoln Memorial. They have time with both the Vietnam Wall and then the Korean Memorial. Then there's a driving tour. They go to the World War II Memorial, Iwo Jima, Seabees, Air Force, and end up in Arlington. And they see the changing of the guards. Bob Dole has been very, very involved from day one in getting this coordinated from the DC side. And still today. And he's in the mid-90s. If his health permits, he's greeting these groups, usually at the changing of the guard area. Jeff, as a matter of fact, was recognized and given one of the top civilian awards by President Bush for the work that he has done here. When they arrived back to the actual airport, one of last year, they almost broke the fire code with the number of people that is there at the actual airport. They have pet vets, they have Boy Scouts, they have ROTC, and then all the different family members that are involved and come in. That concourse or the main area was packed. What does that do to that building when they see that type of reception? Early on, even with the World War II, I remember Jeff commenting that it's a long day for these guys and gals. They got up early, flew up to DC, spent all day getting on and off buses, seeing the memorials. They're dragging when they get off that plane. But they go through that gate and they see that reception. They get their second wind, and it is amazing. It's amazing to see the change in these guys and gals. What I'm here today to, and with all your different businesses and companies, we are wanting our veterans to go on the strip. If you know of a veteran, you can go to Blue Ridge Honor Flight, and I got some of the literature here. And they're on site, and I've got some of the applications too. There's an application for both being a guardian and for the veteran. And all I can suggest is send them in, and they'll put you on the nearest flight they can based on first come, first served. World War II veterans, Jenny with hers, that kind of bumps somebody else probably off the May flight to go into the September flight. The World War II veterans will have priority, and then the Korean, and then the Vietnam.
Can I add one thing?
Sure.
So, as I have looked at the literature and studied the stuff online, one of the things that they do on the flight back is they have mail call.
Oh, yeah, that's something.
And so I've got 526 authors at my school. I'm gonna have the kids write letters of thanks and give that to Jeff and company to distribute to the veterans that are on our flight coming back as part of the mail call.
And we've got, with Jenny's back, I think at least 9 veterans from this area going. they do have this mail call that I will provide Rick with the names of each of our veterans that I know from Catawba County that are going, that I would love to have the Rotary Club have the card, whether it's a card each or for the whole group, however, thanking them for their service, welcome home, you know, whatever. And so when their name calls out, they'll have a stack of mail.
Can you get me the names of everybody so that the kids can address them specifically?
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Okay, cool.
And yeah, I've got your minutes.
Yeah.
So, again, yeah, I think so often the Vietnam veteran that did not get a good welcome home. This is for them, yeah. And I'm trying to figure out for my church, and I've asked them to check, has one of these automated systems that they can email, text, and call everybody. But I don't want my 6 veterans from my church to know we're doing this. To get mail.
You can exclude them off.
Well, they're figuring it out. We got till May to get it figured out. But that's one of the other things they have since added to this program. If you know a veteran, your company is interested in sponsoring them, that costs about $600 per veteran. The guardian, we have to pay our own way. It costs $400 to be a guardian. And then one of the things, we're hoping we can get the Rotary clubs here in this area back interested in supporting this and doing some fundraising so that we can make that 3rd flight a year to take our veterans to DC. I've got a picture book here that very emotional. I'd like to pass around. This was on one of the trips. And just take the time to look through. Are there any questions or anything I can?
2 days ago, I saw a license plate. The government's still working to give you clients to serve, because the license plate I saw, you know how you normally see the commemorative license plate have a Vietnam service sticker on it? This had an Afghan service sticker on it. The first one I've seen.
Melinda, can a spouse be a guardian?
No. That's one of the restrictions, and the main reason is they want the spouse to be home to welcome them back. Now, their son, their daughter, their niece, next door neighbor, anybody else can be the guardian. But they do not want, they don't have a spouse to be a guardian.
We have a gentleman in our veterans group who coordinates the transportation to Salisbury, Asheville for the veterans. I think it was yesterday, he was taking 2 World War II veterans from Catawba County to Asheville. Neither one knew the other one. So he said that should be really kind of a wild get-together for them. So I want to make sure today, if I see him today, that he gets those names and see if they can't get them on a flight.
Well, again, you go to Blue Ridge on a flight on the computer. There's a lot of information. They even have, there was a Sunday morning CBS special, maybe 10 years ago, on this, where they were interviewing Jeff and talking about this program. So that's on that. But there also the application for both being the veteran and for the guardian is they can get on that side.
Any other questions for Melinda? Well, we have a little gift for you. This is a coaster that has Hickory Sunrise Rotary Club on it, and it's made by our own Wayne Honeycutt.
Fantastic.
And every time you put a nice cold drink on there, you can think of us. Would I get a picture of 2 of us? This is in the background. And you have volunteer applications?
Yes.
Guardian, yeah. Yes, sir. How many veterans in the club? 1, 2,
3, Jim.
Jim, Ron Leach, Richard.
5, 6. Yeah. That's 6. 6.
That's better. And
Go Navy.
Oh, jeez.
Had to go there, didn't you?
He was a wounded knee.
So you can aim high.
A few announcements that I have. Why don't you take a look at the bulletin on the inside if you haven't seen the picture yet. An on-flight picture. Barbara at Lagunas Printing, according to Kenny, was trained by Kenny to be able to do this. But I sent her this picture, and where it has "from the president," rather than have me write something, I thought I'd just put the picture in, and she was able to do that. And Kenny, thank you for training her so well. We appreciate that. All right, I spoke to Ryan McCreary yesterday afternoon. He would love to be president next year, but it's just too much for him. Being an elementary school principal with early morning duties, and I told him, don't worry about it, you relax, you're still a member. He's going to be here almost every Wednesday in the summer. And I said, you just keep doing your job, look at the videos, and when you can meet. And a couple of years from now, when things have settled down for you, you're going to be president at that time, that's fine. Which now leads me to the fact that we're going to need a president-elect, and fairly soon, because we want to send that person to PETS, which is the principal,
Not principal.
not principal,
President-elect training.
President-elect training. All right, I can't get school out of me. So, and the PETS training is awesome. It's absolutely essential that if you're going to be a president in the Rotary Club, you need to do that. I learned so much, and I'm still learning, but so grateful that I did go to PETS this time. So please be thinking, if you would like to be the president, one of the advantages for this club, if you were to be a president, is that you have about 7 or 8 or 9 folks sitting around the table who already have been president and are here to assist you in any way.
When and where is PETS? Do you know?
Asheville, Buncombe, Asheville, AB Tech, usually one of the buildings.
That's pre-PETS. PETS will be in Greensboro at the Corey Center.
Oh, that's pre-PETS is Asheville, okay. Thank you.
Greensboro.
Wow, we
Do you know when?
changed a lot since I went to PETS.
I want to say
It's on, did you get Tiffany's
February 24th.
newsletter?
I'll tell you in a minute.
Okay. Rhino's going to look up when PETS is, but we really need to get somebody to go to that. T-shirt sizes. For those of you who will be helping for the stand down, I need your T-shirt size. Email it to me, write a piece of paper now, give it to me, whatever.
We just gave them to Rhino last week.
Sizes? Well, good. Yeah,
It's not,
for the other
I
shirt.
sent a thing around.
Okay, if you've got that, Rhino, you can get it to me.
I will.
Because I need to be ordering those T-shirts no later than March 3rd.
Problem with that is it won't tell you who intends to serve at stand down. It's all club members.
Yeah, that's true.
But you can go ahead, I mean, when people
Yeah, most
say,
of us-
I'm going to serve.
Yeah, I'll order enough. I'll order enough. February 4th, next Tuesday, is the play, Black Angels over Tuskegee. Tickets are $15. Steve, you have tickets, or can get tickets if we need to. So please, if you can attend that, it'd be worthwhile. If you can't, but would like to donate, please do so. At least the cost of a ticket or two. Steve, the money from that evening performance that we will be attending goes for a specific purpose. Share again what it is.
Absolutely. We've been going to Selma, Alabama to celebrate Bloody Sunday, March 7th, 1965, when people marched from Selma to Montgomery. That's when a lot of things took place, not so good things in our history. And we've been taking students since 2010. And our students we've marched across the bridge with Winnie Mandela. I mean, key people who were very active during that time. And the common thread coming back, because on Sunday when we come, we cross the Edmund Pettus Bridge, and then we load our charter buses and we come back home. But the common thread every year that I've gone is it was life-changing. And you know, we're excited about going back this year again with a whole new group of students. So, and it's expensive, but and we take a history professor with us, and he always says, you guys know Richard. Richard always goes with us. He always says, wow, every time I go, I have a different emotion. So
Gotta be chilling to walk across that bridge.
yes. The first time we went across the bridge, nobody said a word. In other words, the charter bus came across, nobody said, y'all be quiet, we're crossing the bridge. But not a soul said a word when we went across the bridge. But,
Well,
yeah.
I'm glad y'all doing that. Thank you all for those of you who can contribute in some form or fashion, either by a donation or by buying a ticket. You're helping CVCC students really get a taste of true history. So we thank you for that. Now, having said that, prior to the play, some of us are going to go to dinner at Market on Main. If you are going to dinner, please let me know. I need to let John Duke know how many folks are going to go. So far, I've only got Jim, the White family.
I knew when I wrote it.
But listen,
I knew when I wrote
I wasn't gonna bring it up. But in lieu of everything, it's just hard for me to. It took me almost a week to get past that.
Yeah.
Because and Kenny is so eloquently kind of tried to help me through it. But I was trying. It took me back, and I'm thinking, is it going to be section for the white family and the rest of us coming?
I couldn't figure that out. It just really.
That's why I fussed at her. I said, you know, do something like you were American or Irish American. Come on.
The white family.
The white family. So if I come, are they going to be in a section I can't go in?
We'll find out. Jenny White and her husband, Mr. White, are going to be going. I will be going. I'm assuming Steiger going. So
I thought that sweater was red, but look at her face.
Hey, Rick, I would be remiss. I'm sorry I didn't mention this earlier. Dr. Upondage, Richard Tucker, and Dr. Wimberly always make a contribution to our Selma experience.
wonderful.
And if you have some time today, go out on YouTube and Google Selma experience. And that was our first trip in 2010, and I checked yesterday, and it's still out there. So do that, and that'll sort of give you some idea as to what those students experience.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you for doing that. Since we are meeting Tuesday night, some of us will be meeting, there will be no meeting here next Wednesday. Wayne, you had a question?
Two announcements, very minor, so if you have anything else, I'd like to finish with these two.
I got, let me just make sure. The following Wednesday, the 12th, we're meeting here for a club assembly, during which we'll talk about fundraising efforts, what we're going to go for, as well as I'm going to try to help complete some of the pink pages at that time. And as Richard said, we had a great turnout. We had 16 Rotarians and a nephew. Regina brought her nephew, and he helped he worked a lot too. He did a lot of good. The 27th, the last Wednesday of February, another field trip, going to a place, what's the name of it? Roll Tech. I have a little page here that says what they make. It'll be an interesting trip for us, those of you who can make that particular trip. Again, please be thinking about being a president. Wayne.
Okay, two items I failed to mention. At the winter warm, Michael brought soup, and he brought a guest in the car. And I opened the door and asked the guest, did Michael fix the soup? She started laughing. She really wouldn't tell. Michael said he did, but the bottom line, later she said, well, he poured the soup into the crock pot. I want that to be for the record. And the other announcement, Rick, you have it too, Chick-fil-A. Would you finish that one and make an announcement? We didn't see it until this morning.
When Jeff said he would like to come to visit, he said, where are you? And I said, we're in the Bears lair behind the big bear. And he's trying to think, okay, I know the bear, the building, so the building with Chick-fil-A on it. Chick-fil-A. And so Melinda contacts me, because she's going to come this morning. She said, now where are you? I said, where the bears live, behind that big bear. She said, oh, where the Chick-fil-A sign. I'm going, Chick-fil-A? I have not seen a Chick-fil-A. Doggone it, there is a sign up there. Wayne and I found it this morning. Melinda.
One other thing I will let you know that's coming up real soon is at the Flat Rock Playhouse. There's going to be a special showing of something called Brothers Like These. Vietnam War veterans performing their own written true stories. And the mission of this organization is called the NC Veterans Writing Alliance Foundation, and Brothers Like These is to provide healing through the arts and creative writing to the Vietnam War veterans in our community. So that's Sunday, February 9th at 2 o'clock up at the Flat Rock Playhouse, and the requested donation is $20 a ticket.
And to follow up on that,
I'm going.
Jim and I are in that Vietnam writing experience, but not at that particular one. We're going to do our performance at Grandview Middle School in the next month or so. In fact, we are having our last meeting today at the clinic down here to finalize all the things. But we've been writing for 9 weeks, I think, something like that. Tremendous experience. Right on.
President-elect will be expected to attend pre-pets February the 8th at the AV Center in Nashville on the campus. Okay. The Pets Assembly is March 5 through 7 at the Corey Center in Greensboro. So those are two obligations that really need to be fulfilled.
5 through 7?
May 5th through the 7th. It's a weekend. March.
That's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's 2 work days.
That's long.
Okay.
Tell me about it. I've done it 3 times. I've done it. I know it's 3 work days, but it's you didn't quite say it right. It's 3 worth days.
I get that. I'm just looking at.
It is a big block of time. Yes.
Being an administrator of school is hard to get going.
Yeah, I can't do it.
Jeff, thank you for joining us. I hope you'll come back. Melinda, if you've not been in a Rotary Club, I'd love for you to come back.
You need to be.
Kenny.
Just an update on Seth. He starts a full-time job firefighting Monday.
Where's he working?
Newton Cono.
Newton Cono. That's great.
Steve, of the things we think, say, or do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?